Welcome to the Avenue's special monthly broadcast. I'm Steve March-Tormé, and this is August Haven Live, the virtual edition. This is our monthly show dedicated to taking a deeper dive into an independent artist and their music, and it's all made possible by August Haven. Normally, we would gather at August Haven, and we would do this in person. That's the most fun way to do it. And we're looking forward to that time that we can do that again and enjoy August Haven's famous hospitality. We always have such a blast over there. Until we can be together in person again, we will bring all the music and interviews to you through the radio, so keep it tuned right here. We will be with you until 7 p.m. Today's guests are one of Green Bay's must-see live acts, the Chocolatiers, and right now, I am joined by John Mazzariello and Chris Schoeneker of the Chocolatiers. Thanks for being with us, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Give us a quick rundown of the band. Who are the members of the Chocolatiers right now, and who plays what?
Well, I'm John Mazzariello. I do a large portion of the singing and play guitar.
Chris Schoeneker. I play drums and also do a little bit of singing when I can.
And we also have Alex Kinstetter. We like to refer to him as the hardest working bass player in Green Bay, Wisconsin. He's also a singer, and Colin McMahon on lead guitar. And he does a lot of singing. The entire band sings.
Now, John, I understand that you're originally from a small town out east, one that unfortunately became rather well known to the rest of the country in 2012, and that played a role in the origins of the Chocolatiers. So tell us when and how the band first came together.
Sure. I'm originally from Newtown, Connecticut, and grew up in Sandy Hook and attended Sandy Hook Elementary School. And I had the tragedy there in 2012. My mother was a teacher and administrator at the school for about 23 years and actually came out of retirement and worked at the school the following year to kind of help get things back on track. That year, 2013, I was doing open mics at Music Row at Harmony Cafe in Green Bay. And so got together with a few of the folks there and organized a benefit for what's called the Newtown Fund, which was a charity that existed before the tragedy in Newtown, but then it shifted gears and became kind of a repository for donations for the victims and their families. And so we had an event out there. Greg McMahon ran sound for us and performed with Matt Hayes, and Blues Talk with John Wheelock and his dad came out and headlined the event for us, and we raised a few $1,000s for the Newtown Fund. I had written a couple of songs for that day and kind of started writing more and more songs that year, and met Dave Duffy, who the two of us started the Chocolatiers at that time, and kind of met the rest of the band through open mics the rest of that year. It kind of, I guess, got the ball rolling as far as making music with others. I had been doing some open mics, but really hadn't, been out in the community all that much. But, through those few months, met a lot of people in Green Bay.
And the resulting songs eventually became your first album, which is Thank You. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, the whole year I really spent a lot of time reflecting on my childhood and growing up in Newtown. So I wrote a number of songs that kind of harken back to that time and that place, and that were special to me. Shared them with some folks back home that really enjoyed them, and that kind of period of songwriting kind of culminated in that first album.
We're speaking with John Mazzariello and Chris Schoeneker, one half of the Chocolatiers. I am SMT. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more from John and Chris in our next break. You are listening to August Haven Live, the virtual edition on 91.1 The Avenue. We're here until 7 p.m. with more interviews and music, including a performance set from the Chocolatiers in our 5 o'clock hour. August Haven is a supporting partner of The Avenue. Let's take a listen right now to something from the Chocolatiers.
Sure. This song's called Little Birds. I was in the process of writing this in December of 2012 and was really searching for kind of, a meaning to the song and working on some of the lyrics. And as soon as everything happened in December, it all kind of fell together for me. And I wrote the song. I passed it along to some folks back east, and, it was something that I kind of wrote, I guess, as a tribute. And then just kind of kept playing it with the band, as the band formed over the next year. And it eventually made it onto that album.
I know a place with trees and winding roads, and I know a place where the eagles fly below, and I know a place where the devil, he cannot go. And I know a place where nobody hurts anymore. So birds fly away, little birds fly away. And I know tomorrow is gonna be a better day. And I know a place where the river, it knows no fear, where mothers dance and children sing, and the sky is always clear. So birds fly away, little birds fly away. I know tomorrow is gonna be a better day. And I know tomorrow is gonna be a better day.
Welcome back to the Avenue's special monthly broadcast of August Haven Live, the virtual edition. I am SMT. I'm joined by John Mazzariello and Chris Schoeneker of the Chocolatiers. So, guys, in the last break, we talked about how the band got started. What happened next? How did you arrive at the current lineup?
I guess, Chris, do you want to handle that one?
Yeah, I believe it was, there was an open jam. It was Thanksgiving Eve. What was that, 2014? 2014. And the guys were up on stage, and I was in a different band at the time, and we had done a show, so I knew the guys a little bit. But they were playing one of their new songs, and it was confusing. The guy that was sitting up on the drums at the time, and he actually just walked off the stage, and I just went up there and started playing along and hit the time signature right, and we all just kind of had a good laugh about it. And after that, they just asked, all of a sudden, I think I got a text or email from Johnny and asking me if I would want to sit in at one of their next shows. So he sent me, a few songs, and I learned them. And that went really well, and then they sent me all the songs that they knew, and then so I learned all those for another show, and then before you know it, I just kind of joined the band. So I was actually drumming with the Chocolatiers and with the Raglanders at the same time. So that's where I came in.
Not exactly at the same time.
Right. Well, yeah, not exactly at the same time. But no, then I actually did do the CD release for Thank You with the Chocolatiers, as well as Paul Hendricks.
Yep, Paul Hendricks. We had basically I met Alex and Colin at open jams, and they liked the music, and eventually we started talking. Let's kind of expand the band, because at the time it was myself and Dave Duffy, and we brought Alex and Colin in, and when we brought the bass in, we thought, now we need a drum. We need drums behind all this, and we kind of had drummer by committee for the better part of a year. Greg McMahon actually played drums on the album while we recorded Thank You that summer, before we had met Chris. And then when he moved to New York, Paul Hendricks sat in for a while, and then we kind of met Chris at this open jam. And I just remember after playing that song with you that we all just kind of looked at each other, and that was pretty special. It was pretty fun, because it was a 6/8 time signature. It's not something a lot of people were seeing. And it just fell together, and then we decided he learned the album in a matter of days, and and then we started writing songs. Actually, we were writing songs during that time period leading up to the first CD release. So the second album was starting to be written as soon as we met Chris.
Yeah, so I had to learn Thank You, which was new to me, and learn the new songs as they were writing them, and help write those too.
So can we hear something from you guys now? Tell us what we're about to hear.
Well, this song is called Joyride, and this is actually off of our third album, our most recent album, which we recorded here in Appleton at Rock Garden Studios with Mark Goldie. And this song was, I guess the lyrics kind of came out of conversations that Chris and I had during the time, during recovery, I guess. I don't know if you want to kind of touch on that.
Well, yeah, when we were starting to do the recording for Way Down, what became Way Down, my drinking had gotten really, really bad. And of course, I didn't think I had a problem, but we were in the studio and I was just having a rough time. But we also had a gig then that same night down in Appleton. And when we left to go to that show I was setting up, and I literally couldn't move, and went to the hospital where, they didn't think I was going to make it through the night. And lo and behold, everything did work out. And then while I was in Madison at the hospital recovering, contacted the Nitschke Center in Green Bay, and I did a stay with them for 28 days, and then did their outpatient program, and then I've been involved with them ever since. But Johnny and I got together when I got out of the Nitschke Center, and he said, why don't you just write things down, your new vision on life and the way you see things or the way you hear things. And so I just took a week, and I just wrote randomly down everything. I just did it day by day, and John and I just got together, and we talked, we had a good time, and we just bounced things off each other, and then that kind of fell into the lyrics for this song.
This is 91.1 The Avenue's August Haven live broadcast with the Chocolatiers. We will be back with more interviews and live music until 7 p.m. August Haven is a supporting partner of The Avenue. Now, here's the Chocolatiers.
Climbing up, I see there's no angels waiting there for me. Yeah, there's no angels waiting there for me. And I've been lost so long in the cloud of what was meant to be that I can barely dream it all. Yeah, I can barely dream it all. Well, I have heard that it's alright when things are not okay. These voices whispering in my ear won't faze me. Well, I'll keep crawling back to your arms. It don't bother me at all. No, it won't bother me at all. So let's make love like a couple of 90s kids in the back of a Cadillac at the end of a dead-end road on a Saturday night. Well, I've been thinking on some words that my father said to me. If you want to win the hearts and minds, you've got to shoot to kill and play for keeps. But every time I think I'm flying, I'm just learning how to fall again. Yeah, this gravity won't seem to let me go. And all these tragedies recreating, and all these crimes that we're obfuscating, they keep us blind to the fact that all our time is slipping away. So let's make love like a couple of 90s kids in the back of a Cadillac at the end of a dead-end road on a Saturday night. And let's get drunk like a couple of teenage kids in the back of a Cadillac at the end of a dead-end road on a Saturday night. This gravity won't let me go. 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 This gravity. Well, let's make love like a couple of 90s kids in the back of a Cadillac at the end of a dead-end road on a Saturday night. And let's get drunk like a couple of teenage kids in the back of a Cadillac at the end of a dead-end road on a Saturday night. And let's make love like a couple of 90s kids in the back of a Cadillac at the end of a dead-end road on a Saturday night.
This is Steve March-Tormé. You are listening to 91.1 The Avenue's special broadcast, August Haven Live, the virtual edition. We're back with John Mazzariello and Chris Schoeneker of the Chocolatiers. So, what have you guys been up to these last several months? Obviously, these are pretty unusual times, to say the least. So, have you been able to play together?
It's been interesting. We all do have day gigs, and we're, I guess, deemed essential. So we've been working. We have had the opportunity to spend some time together. I think it was probably, we did distancing for quite some time, and then we were able to kind of get back together in small groups outdoors and start playing some music. And I think, personally, I've spent a little bit of time working on lyrics, working on songs. We've all been involved in other projects as well, like other musical projects that we've kind of worked on. I've spent a lot of time with my family, and I work as a nurse, so I've been, going in every day and doing that. But I kind of, I guess, I want to say, enjoyed the break from, gigging and stuff like that, because it's really a pleasure to be able to go out and play music for people. But having a Saturday night at home was kind of refreshing in a way, and I really got a chance to spend a lot of time with my kids, and they're a big source of inspiration for me when I make music, because it's something that we do together at home. But we've tried to get together. We've tried to work on some songwriting. We've got a few new songs that we've been working on. And really just kind of looking to the next project, and then looking forward as far as gigging. We're really looking forward to 2021. We lost a lot of festivals this year, which was a bummer. We managed to hang on to a few outdoor shows, so we've had a couple of gigs a month, which is keeping us kind of.
So under normal circumstances, what does a performance schedule look like for you? Do you get out on the road? Where have you been? Any stories that might stand out for our listeners?
In the summer, it would almost be every weekend, sometimes 2 or 3 gigs on said weekends, like doing a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We'd almost be booked pretty solid. It would be very rare that we would have an entire weekend off.
Yeah, I actually did the math on this one for booking purposes, but we've played between 2015 and 2019. We were on average between 70 and 80 shows a year, which is not a huge ton, but most of those would be in the summertime, and that's between festivals and kind of weekend gigs. So we're used to playing quite a bit.
That's John Mazzariello and Chris Schoeneker of the Chocolatiers. I am SMT. You are listening to 91.1 The Avenue. Stick around. There's more August Haven Live, the virtual edition with the Chocolatiers coming up, including a performance set in the next hour. August Haven is a supporting partner of The Avenue. Let's play something from the Chocolatiers right now.
Baby, bring your love like a burning sun. Let your light shine down like the break of day. Every heart gets broken, but broken hearts are free. Honey, let your love shine and bring it all to me. Baby, I've been cold and I've been shaking all night, looking out my window at the city lights. Had my share of losing, had my share of fame. Every time I look up at that sky, I wanna see you again. Baby, bring your love like a burning sun. Let your light shine down like the break of day. Every heart gets broken, but broken hearts are free. Honey, let your love shine and bring it all to me. Baby, I don't care that we're growing old. It's not a race to the finish, it's all about the road. Trying to raise these kids, trying to pay my way. And when I'm dead and gone, I hope somebody has something nice to say. Baby, bring your love like a burning sun. Let your light shine down like the break of day. Every heart gets broken, but broken hearts are free. Honey, let your love shine and bring it all to me. Your silhouette wakes me in the morning, and the silence washes over me like a diver in the ocean. And I float in the most peculiar way, and I got nothing left to say. But baby, bring your love like a burning sun. Let your light shine down like the break of day. Every heart gets broken, but broken hearts are free. Honey, let your love shine and bring it all to me. Honey, let your love shine and bring it all to me. Honey, let your love shine and bring it all to me.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Avenue's special monthly broadcast of August Haven Live, the virtual edition. If you're just joining us, you might know this is the time of the month that we'd normally be gathered at August Haven to enjoy some live music and August Haven's famous hospitality. But like all of you, we've had to make some adjustments to our normal routine. But we are still able to gather around the radio for a visit with some very talented musicians thanks to our friends at August Haven. We've been talking with John Mazzariello and Chris Schoeneker of the Chocolatiers. So, guys, please introduce the band. Tell us a little about the session that you've created for us today.
Well, I'm John Mazzariello. I sing and play guitar. We've got Chris Schoeneker, who plays drums and sings.
Hello.
Which is amazing. Alex Kinstetter on the bass guitar and has a beautiful voice. And Mr. Colin McMahon on lead guitar. And he also sings. One of the things that we really enjoy is all singing together. So that's kind of a hallmark of what we do. So we're going to we just selected a number of songs from across our catalog to kind of share tonight. And there's a couple introductions and whatnot.
John Mazzariello and Chris Schoeneker and the Chocolatiers. Take it away.
Thank you. Welcome to August Haven Live with the Chocolatiers.
Hello.
This song is called Smoking Apples.
at Clancy's house. You told me all about your plans for getting out. Well, you were leaving that same night, and you promised that you'd write, but I couldn't finish listening, 'cause it didn't feel right. I wanna cut away the extra parts to my head and paint a pretty picture of all the things you said. I wanna bask in obscurity until I'm dead, and then I want to be known just like Vincent Van Gogh. I wanna laugh like a tractor at the rain, and I don't wanna be bulletproof like a window in some billionaire's plane. And if you get the chance to see my work, I hope you don't know my name until I am laid low, just like Vincent Van Gogh. I want another lover who always lets me down, so I don't get too comfortable and think I wear a crown. I want my heart to break each day till I'm 6 feet in the ground, and then I want to be known just like Vincent Van Gogh. I wanna soak in the local sunlight in the south of France, and lay it down on a canvas bed and get inside its pants. I wanna drink the colors of what it's like to learn to dance, until the devil pulls me below, just like Vincent Van Gogh. Until the devil pulls me below, just like Vincent Van Gogh. Until the devil pulls me below.
So this next song is called I Want a DJ, also known as John Jordan, named after a dear friend of ours. So thanks for listening to August Haven Live or the Chocolatiers. This song's called I Want a DJ.
art of war. Well, it's the science of cigarettes. Well, it's a crazy hunger that lets you work yourself to death. Well, it's a burning hole, a supermassive black hole. It's radiation in the water. Well, I find cold comfort in a tall boy, been drinking at the same bars every night. Well, they'll tell you there's no darkness here, while they're turning out the lights. Well, I want a DJ to tell me it's okay. Well, I want a DJ to tell me it's okay. I just want a little clarity on the airwaves. Well, I want a DJ to tell me it's okay. It's the art of peace, a stark collection of vignettes. It's a crazy hunger that lets you starve your friends to death. Well, it's a burning tomb, the last rites before you leave the room. Well, I'm a 21st century sucker with a pension, and I've been dreaming of the end time. Four men on horses and a pillar of fire. Well, I'll pack my suitcase with the sunshine and things I'm trying to forget. Well, I want a DJ to tell me it's okay. Well, I want a DJ to tell me it's okay. I just want a little clarity on the airwaves. Well, I want a DJ to tell me it's okay, okay. I want a DJ. I want a DJ. I want a DJ.
Missing you on the piano there, Mark.
So this one's called Outer Space.
When you think you've got a hold, in outer space we fall forever. And oh, just when you think you're all understand the news last night. The cameras were flashing, telling everyone to stand up straight. Riot gear and pepper spray, it's not like anyone's opinion matters anyway. The sun had come out, looked like when rock and roll. Was everybody telling stories just to save your soul? And oh, just when you think you've got hope, in outer space we fall forever. And oh, just when you think you're all alone, in outer space we fall together. I couldn't understand the news last night. The cameras flashing and the lights were bright. One was telling me about my doom, to put the radio on and lock the house up tight. But it doesn't seem to matter what the newsman says, it's just the same old story each and every day. And oh, just when you think you've got hope, in outer space we fall forever. And oh, just when you think you're all alone, in outer space we fall together. To wake up from every nightmare, sooner or later every bridge is gonna buckle under the weight. And like a crack in the ocean floor, or the way that it creates it for your door. No, time doesn't make exceptions for good behavior, so don't hold your breath while you're waiting on a savior. And oh, just when you think you've got hope, in outer space we fall forever. And oh, just when you think you're all alone, in outer space we fall together. Yeah, in outer space we fall together. Yeah, in outer space we fall together.
So it's, this one's called Lies. Are we playing Lies?
Yeah, we're playing.
You know my words, you're in my head. You know I'll be here until I'm dead. But you won't call, you won't write. You're in my head. You know I'll be here until I'm dead. But you won't call. You alright? We both know it's not your style. Where you at from the fair? Told you lies. Sold you broken dreams for sunset skies. And you know it's true. It's all because of you that I'm a mess. Yeah, I'm a mess. Yeah, I'm a mess. Yeah, I'm a mess. Yeah, I'm a mess.
Uno más? Sure. Skinny House. This next one's called Skinny House.
With no auxiliary percussion.
What do you want? You want fast? You want slow? You Well, you're living in the skinny house, way down at the end of the road. Well, you're living in the skinny house, way down at the end of the road. Well, you got yourself some chickens, and you got yourself some goats. Well, you're living in a skinny town, way down on the other side of the tracks. Well, you're living in a skinny town. No, you ain't never going back. 'Cause you're finding out all too soon. You got a little slice of paradise. other side of the road. Well, you're living in a skinny house way down at the end of the road. Well, there's 39 miles down into town if you want a pack of smokes. You better buy them by the carton. Thank you very much. Thanks for listening to August Haven Live. We're the Chocolatiers.
I'm Steve March-Tormé. We are back with John Mazzariello and Chris Schoeneker of the Chocolatiers for our final hour of this August Haven Live, the virtual edition. So the Chocolatiers albums include Thank You from 2015, Planet 9 in 2016, love that title, and most recently Way Down, released in 2019. So tell us, how do your songs come together? Talk a little bit about your process.
So it's a collaborative process.
Right. We don't. The funny thing about us is we don't necessarily practice like a traditional band would practice. We do a lot of contact via phone or using social media for ideas and whatnot. And it's always kind of exciting when we do get together then to see who's got what to put it together to see how a song's going to come together. And sometimes we'll end up writing a song while we're doing a sound check at a show. That'll be like the first time we'll ever play it together. So nobody even knows what we're kind of doing, but we do. Yeah. We've done that before, so it's kind of neat, Johnny will have an idea, and we'll just say, well, what if we take it this way? Alex is really good at having a lot of really creative ideas, especially vocally when we're coming up with harmonies. It's kind of neat. I'd never really considered myself a singer, but when you get to sing with the three other guys, it's just like it becomes really easy, which is very confusing to me as a drummer.
Yeah, Alex and Colin are both, they've been singing together
right.
for a long time, long before we met them, and they have a great way of putting together harmonies and constructing them, so they're pretty instrumental in doing that when we're in the studio or when we're live, just kind of finding parts for everybody. But they together are, I guess you'd call Colin a baritone, and Alex has just got the higher alto, so they really complement each other really well and work together really well and really bring out the best in all of us, I would say.
And all or most of your stuff has been recorded right here in Appleton, right? At Rock Garden Studio with Mark Goldie. That's correct?
This is true. Yeah, we love Mark.
Oh, yeah. Mark's great.
We really got to know him when we did Thank You, and the process for Planet 9 was pretty streamlined when we went down there. And one thing we like to do is record a lot of it live, so I think that's really dynamic for him and fun for him, I would hope.
Yeah. We don't do a lot of tracking of instruments. We just all just go and then kind of clean it up a little bit after that.
He knows our process very well, and he's great at kind of keeping us on task as well.
Have you guys been working on anything new?
We have. We're currently writing a few new songs. My father-in-law passed away in April, and I wrote a song for him that was, I made like a little bedroom recording of it. He was a huge music lover. He was a Vietnam vet, battled addiction his whole life, was just a really wonderful person and a big part of my wife's family. And when he passed, I wrote this song called Wings, and I sent it to the family, and we took that together as a band, and it was really just a bedroom recording that I made, and it was kind of like a soft, slow song, and we gave it a little rock and roll feel recently at Rock Garden. And we've got a few other songs that we're working on right now, so we're kind of looking towards that next project. We're trying a couple reverse songwriting styles where we start with the song name and then just write the song from that.
Yep.
So that's one coming up.
You get a lot of free time right now to come up with different ways to do stuff.
Yeah.
It's fun. You start listening to what everybody else is kind of doing, or going back in your own catalog of what you grew up on and kind of drawing from that. It'd be kind of fun to write a song like that. I think that's kind of what we did with this new version of Wings that Johnny originally wrote. We kind of just gave it like an old rock and roll beat.
Yeah, I think the goal was to get close to Little Feat.
Yeah.
Because my father-in-law used to send me, he loved the band, and he would send me YouTube video after YouTube video on Facebook once he figured out how to use Facebook. So I have a whole thread with him of just music that he really loved and music that he wanted to introduce me to and music that he thought the band should play. And so we looked at, kind of all that music, and we wanted to give the song that feel and that treatment. And it worked out.
Yeah.
That's John Mazzariello and Chris Schoeneker of the Chocolatiers. I am Steve March-Tormé, and you're listening to August Haven Live, the virtual edition on 91.1 The Avenue. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more in the next break. August Haven is a supporting partner of The Avenue. Here's another song from the Chocolatiers.
John Anderson died in the spring, and he left me with these wings. He said he didn't need them anymore. But long ago he learned that life was nothing but to sin, and letting go was the only way that he could even up the score. So he went down through the canyon to the water. He went down where everything made sense. Well, he left behind a loving wife and 6 strong, tall kids. He walked out in the forest, and they haven't seen him since. Well, he was just a young man when he left for Vietnam. Came back home with a souvenir that left him with a limp. He tried to face the cold sweats and the nightmares that he had, but his country left him hanging like a thread. So he went down through the canyon to the water. He went down where everything made sense. Yeah, he left behind a loving wife and 6 strong, tall kids. He walked out in the forest, and we haven't seen him since. The years went by like a tiger in the night. Well, he was on and off the bottle, and the pills were his best friends. He tried to fight the good fight, and it knocked him to the ground. But he stood right up and spat and said, "Let's go another round." John Anderson died in the spring and left me with these wings. He said he didn't want them anymore. Well, flying was for birds and planes, and that just wasn't him. He'd get there on his feet just like he'd done 1,000 times before. Well, he went down through the canyon to the water. He went down where everything made sense. Well, he left behind a loving wife and 6 strong, tall kids. He walked into the forest, and we haven't seen him since. He went down through the canyon to the water. Well, he went down where everything made sense. Well, he left behind a loving wife and 6 strong, tall kids. And if you walk out in the forest, well, you can hear him on the wind.
You're listening to The Avenue's monthly broadcast of August Haven Live, the virtual edition. Let's continue our conversation with John Mazzariello and Chris Schoeneker of the Chocolatiers. So, John, in addition to the Chocolatiers, you have another project called Cat Plan. So tell us a little bit about that. How'd that come about, and what style of music do you play?
Sure. I guess that story starts with we all have some side projects going on here and there, and something that Chris and I and Alex were part of a couple years ago was called the Cripple Creek Caravan, which was a show we put on that was a tribute to the Last Waltz from the band. And when I realized that I was going to have to play all of these songs, I went to a friend of mine, Tony Warpinski, and I said, hey, can you maybe give me some pointers, give me some lessons on how to play some of these songs? And we sat down, and I think we played one band song, and I said, I think I got this. Let's talk about jazz, because I knew Tony was into jazz. And we realized that we were both big fans of Django Reinhardt and gypsy jazz. And so we just kind of got this idea that I wanted to keep learning jazz, and he really loved playing jazz. So we said, let's book a few gigs, and that way I can learn and you can play. so basically, I guess I'm trying to get free jazz lessons. But yeah, that's just kind of like a side project, and it's a lot of fun, and we've got a few gigs booked here and there.
And I understand that you recently recorded your first music video for Cat Plan.
We recently shot some video at the Lion's Mouth bookstore in downtown Green Bay, and we'll be releasing some video soon, and maybe some live tracks coming out.
And you have a special connection to Lion's Mouth bookstore, is that right?
My wife actually started Lion's Mouth, April of 2018. We just opened the store in November of last year, but she worked at the Reader's Loft in Alloway for about 13 years, and she used to work at Powell City of Books in Portland, and she's been an avid bookseller for as long as I've known her, and it's been her dream to have her own bookstore. And she put a ton of work into it and found a great location in downtown Green Bay right off the city deck. And she's been open since November and doing great. And it's just a beautiful space. And she suggested, maybe record some music in here. So we went after hours and we set up some microphones and played some music in there. And hopefully, as life returns to something resembling normal, we'll be able to have musical guests in the store. It's a nice space. She was having author events up until everything started in March, but hopefully we'll be able to get back to that.
So your whole family is involved with the project then, because along with Nick Waroff, your son Dylan Chambers also joined you on the sax for some of the songs. That's got to be pretty cool. You're listening to 91.1 The Avenue's August Haven live broadcast, the virtual edition, with special guests John Mazzariello and Chris Schoeneker of the Chocolatiers. I'm SMT. Stick around. We've got more August Haven live coming up. August Haven is a supporting partner of The Avenue. So can we hear a song from Cat Plan? Tell us what we're about to hear.
Sure. This song is called Magnificent Revenge. It was actually written, Tony Warpinski wrote the song. It kind of came off of a quote. We read this biography of Django Reinhardt, and in it, the author referred to Django's ability to negotiate royalties as his magnificent revenge against the record industry at the time. So a lot of people don't know that Django was very prolific, wrote over 100 original compositions, and was actually kind of ahead of his time as far as making money. And he always negotiated for royalties over larger one-time payments, and that was able to sustain him throughout his life and take care of his family and everything. And so we just wrote this song and titled it Magnificent Revenge because we thought that's just such a great concept.
You are listening to 91.1 The Avenue. I'm Steve March-Tormé. We are bringing you our special broadcast, August Haven Live, the virtual edition. We're back one last time with John Mazzariello and Chris Schoeneker of the Chocolatiers. So, guys, thank you so much for spending time with us today. I can't let you get away without asking about your band name. So, why the Chocolatiers? I know that Mumford and Sons and the Beatles were already taken. So, what's the story with the Chocolatiers?
There is a story. It's not a very long story, but when Dave Duffy and I actually started playing out together, every time we would play out, we had a number of gigs, and people would say, "What's the name of the band?" And we just had no idea, because a band name is probably one of the most difficult decisions you face when you form a band. Is what do we call it? And we were at WOVM late one evening. Dave was playing with an Irish folk music band, I think, at that time. And there was a group of us standing around during one of the set breaks, and people were kind of pressing us for a name. And somebody chimed in and said, it doesn't matter what you name the band. As long as the music's good, people will come and listen. And then somebody else said, yeah, you could call it the Chocolatiers. And so I think at about 3 o'clock in the morning, I made a Facebook page called the Chocolatiers, and that was pretty much it. I did a minute amount of research to find out if the name was being used, which there was a punk group in Amsterdam around 2007, 2008 that used the name for a short period of time, and I couldn't find any footprint of them recently. And then there was a group of 3 singers in the 40s that went by the 3 Chocolatiers, and that was the only trace of that name that I could find anywhere. So I thought, well, we found a name that nobody else is using, because that's most of the time you think of a great band name and you Google it and there's a bunch of bands. So we were pretty happy with that, and we just stuck with it, and it lends itself to a lot of shenanigans. We tried to bring chocolate to shows, but
then that didn't work well in the summer.
Out in the summer, overnight in the van.
Or kids would just come and eat it all, or we'd eat it all too.
Yeah.
Thanks again. We've enjoyed spending time with you and your music, especially during these times when fans are really missing live music at their favorite venues. We want to thank everyone for tuning in. Thank you to our sponsor, August Haven. August Haven has created this unique event, which will continue in person as usual once it's safe to do so again. We thank them for their unwavering support of both the Avenue and the musicians that we feature in these August Haven broadcasts. During these times, it means more than ever. August Haven is a supporting partner of the Avenue. So, guys, why don't you give us one last song? Tell us what you're going to play.
How about we go with "Love Is Gold"? Yeah, "Love Is Gold" is it's an older Chocolatiers song. One of the first songs that I wrote way back when, and we recorded it on "Thank You," and it was one of the songs that I thought was one of my favorite songs on that album. But I really never liked the recording that we did on it, and the lineup has since changed. I think everybody performed well. I think it was just my vocals at the time, or something about it just never really grabbed me, and I felt
you can blame me for changing it, probably.
Well, I thought it was just a fun song, and I didn't felt like that recording had done it justice, so we decided to re-record it. So we've got a new version of it that you'd hear as if we were playing it live.
Just above your smile, your eyes are like tiny black lakes, and your head, it falls like water in springtime, and I am your valley coated in sunshine. Well, you never let me down. cold, cold snow, blankets all around. Well, I lie and I wait for my sweet summer. And the bright, bright lights that shine through her gown. Well, you